Yo, what up guys? It's your boy Nathan back at it again with some more mods for the S2K. I finally got my first performance mod, so let's check it out. Here's the S2K. If you guys are wondering how it's doing, it's actually doing great. Loving it. Enjoying the drive a lot. And here you go. This is the first performance mod for the car. This is the NVIDIA Q300. I got it off of Craigslist. The seller was super cool. He sold this to me for only $450. It does come with the titanium tips, which is nice. I like this over the double-walled ones for sure. So the condition of the exhaust is relatively, in really good condition if you look at it. There isn't any like major dents on the exhaust. The previous owner didn't have his car lowered. He actually tracked his S2K, but it was never really lowered. And so there's no visible dents or major scratches on the exhaust, which is great, right? Because essentially it's really good condition. The only thing is that he left it out for a while. I'm not too sure how long, but I did ask him. But it is starting to show a little tarnishing on the actual stainless steel itself, but that's not a big issue, right? Because that's the whole purpose of this video. I wanted to take you guys along the journey of me trying to polish this thing out and bringing it back to life. I know when it comes new, it does have a mirror finish. I'm trying to not go for the mirror finish look, so I'm trying to polish it and sand it down with wet sandpaper so that it has more of a brush look, right? I prefer a brush look over a mirror look, but that's just personal preference. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these bad boys ready and start polishing. Okay, first thing first is what we need to do is make sure you guys get some of this mother's polishing material right here, which is pretty good. I got it off of Amazon, probably like $5-10. I'm not too sure, can't remember. And also I got me a pack of wet sanding paper, right? This one is from 120 grit to 5,000 grit, right? So there's multiple sandpaper for different grit sizing, and this is definitely going to be useful. Make sure you guys wear some gloves too, because your hand's going to get pretty dirty. What I'm going to do first is I'm actually just going to spray down the exhaust and then wash it with some soapy water, right? Trying to get as much of the residue off as possible. Once that is done, then we'll start to sand down the exhaust. Let's get that started. Okay, I got a brush right here with soapy water, and just gonna try to scrape as much of the dirty gunk off of the exhaust as possible. Once you're done with that, just spray it down. And right away, it's looking a lot better than how it was before. You could tell by the other exhaust pipe, right, that is pretty dirty. This one does have a little bit more shine on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean the rest of it, and then we'll talk about how to sand it down. Alright, so what you want to do is first grab a sandpaper, wet it. I'm going to start off with 120 and work my way up. What you want to do is just kind of wet the sandpaper, and if you're sanding, go in one fluid motion. Go back and forth. You try to get out as much as the scratches as possible. You're definitely going to, since this is a heavier sandpaper, you're going to see it forming scratches but essentially the more grit you go up, you're going to start flattening it down and it's going to be smoother. So I'm going to go ahead and sand this down with 120, and then once I'm done I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, alright guys, here it is. This is what it looks like after 120. Most of the yellowing is off now. There's still some deep ones that I couldn't really get into, but I'm hoping that as we continue sanding it down that they will slowly start to go away. I think the main purpose of 120 is just to kind of get the coloring out. Like I mentioned before, the mid pipe, I'm most likely just going to leave that for now, and if I do decide to do it in the future, I'll probably do that. But it's just having 3 pieces already to do is pretty time consuming, so I want to get only the visible parts all polished up and looking nice. So yeah, let's get to 120, or actually let's get to 240. Yeah, so guys, that was 240. I noticed that it's starting to get a lot easier to actually sand everything down. I think it's because we took out most of the yellowing tarnish color out of the material, so now it's just more of just kind of slowly, sanding it down, getting all the little imperfections out, and then as we work our way up, it's going to start to be more polished and new looking. So I know that I still have some areas that needs to be worked on, but like I said, I'm not trying to make this thing brand new out of the box. I'm just trying to make it have a little bit more shine to it so it looks nice on the back of the car. So let's go ahead and start jumping into 400. Okay, so this is with the 400 done. I think at this stage, this is when I started to see that a lot of the colors starting to be a little bit more shiny. A lot of the deep scratches are starting to kind of, blend in with the actual stainless steel material itself, and there was actually a big improvement from 240 to 400. So I'm curious to see how it's going to be from 600, and then we'll go to 1,000, and then from there. I also noticed that as we get up in the grit range, it's starting to be a lot quicker for me to actually have to polish it, because it's more of just blending in all of the scratches, which is good. Like I mentioned before, the most critical thing is the beginning, when you're trying to make everything all as clean as possible, because the more preparation you make it, the easier it is throughout the whole process of actually buffing this out. Like I said, I know that there are areas that I can definitely improve on, but to me, I think it looks good, right? As far as how it looks right now. If you want to be, more detailed focus onto, making it look brand new, then just take a little bit more time on it. But for me, I think overall right now it looks good, and we'll just continue to move up in the grit range, and hopefully, it shines up a little bit. Man, after hitting it with the 600 and the 1000, I'm starting to see that it's getting definitely shinier. Most of the discolorations are starting to go away. Most of the scratches you saw in the beginning from the 120 is actually starting to blend in. I'm curious to see what happens with 2000, 3000, and then 5000. It's most likely just going to be shining it up a bit. After that, we'll see what we can do with the tips, because the tips are a little bit yellow, and I do kind of want it to have a brush look, but I'm afraid that it might ruin the titanium burnt tips, so we'll see about that. Alright, let's get back to sanding this down. I'll probably show you guys what it looks like once we're done with 5000. Alright guys, here's how it looks like after 2000, 3000, 5000 grit. I noticed that the higher you go up, it's just started to get much smoother. Like when I'm touching the actual exhaust itself, it's super smooth. The lower grits are pretty much to be used to take out the colors. So if you could compare, this is after, right? And that's how the exhaust used to look like. It's the same color as the mid part, but now you can see that it is super shiny. I did try to hit the tips with 3000 and 5000, but it didn't really do much. So I'm just gonna hopefully try to polish it out. But if that doesn't work, then I'll see if I can try to sand it out. But yeah, let's start. I'm going to bring this to the garage, let it dry out, and then we'll start polishing the exhaust. Hey guys, so we're back inside the garage. It was a pretty long process to doing sanding down the exhaust, but definitely worth it, because now it looks practically new. At least to me, it looks new. It doesn't have that mirror finish yet, and I don't know if I want the super mirror finish, but I am going to add a little bit of polishing cream to it to make it a little bit shiny. One word of advice: make sure you be careful, because I did cut my hand pretty bad on the exhaust tip while sanding it down. So just be careful when you're doing it. And you know, when it comes to, you know, making the exhaust look new again, it just takes time, right? The more time you put into it, the better it's gonna look. And you know, if you want to focus more time onto it, then it'll just look newer. For me, I didn't want to spend like the whole day doing it, so I probably spent like 2 hours doing it. And the result is definitely amazing. Let me show you guys the results again. There you go. Definitely has a shine to it already. It's more of like, you know, like a brush look, which is what I was going for. And yeah, so hopefully with a little bit of polishing cream on it, it'll definitely give it a little bit more shine. If you guys are wondering, yes, the M3 is right here chilling. I park it outside so that way I can work on the S2K. But yeah, let me go ahead and polish this up, and once we're done, I'll show you guys the final results. I'm hoping that, you know, I could get these installed in ASAP, and hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that video of the installation. And I'll definitely do a before and after sound clip as well to show you the difference between the stock exhaust and the Q300. So there you go, guys. There you have it. That's me polishing it. I could have probably spent more time polishing it, but like I said, I didn't want it to have a super mirrored look. I just kind of wanted to have a shiny brush look, and it looks amazing. So I'm kind of out of breath. You know, polishing actually takes a lot of elbow grease, and it's definitely exhausting. This whole process is definitely exhausting. So I definitely recommend doing it on a day when you have a lot of energy, because I'm hella burnt out. I'm hoping that I could run some errands real quick, and then when I get back, hopefully I still have time to install in the exhaust. Man, I'm super excited. These look amazing. Definitely got a good deal from it. You know, don't be afraid to buy used parts, man, because if you find ones that's been taken care of and in good condition, I mean, it's a treasure, man. You could just you can always fix it up, as long as it doesn't have, like, you know, major dents, major scratches or anything like that, then you're good to go. But other than that, guys, thanks for tuning in, watching me get this exhaust ready. Hopefully we can get it installed soon so we can hear a sound clip, man. I'm excited, dude, because exhaust with a convertible, man, it's gonna sound sick, dude. Alright, man. Peace.